As you talk sports, they were talking boxing. Proudly joined for the first time on the channel by Eddie Hearn. How are you doing today, Eddie?
Doing very well, mate. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So obviously, massive fight week, and I mean, yesterday we saw the open workout. The shopping centre was absolutely packed. What have you made of it?
Yeah, there's very few that kind of garner the attendance and the the respect that Katie Taylor does. Even AJ and Canelo and Fury. You're talking about a handful of people, and it's a massive fight for Ireland, massive fight for Katie Taylor, and a great fight. The first one was really good, but this one I expect to be even better.
So obviously, both fighters really not doing too much media. Do you think they're both just they just want to get in there and fight?
Yeah, neither are massive talkers, and for Katie Taylor, last show she did so much media. I think this time around she's going, I'm just not doing it. Like, I was knackered last time. I remember a ring walk was about 8 minutes, so I think she's just saying, I'm conserving my energy. I have to win, and she looks in a fierce competitive mode. But Chantel Cameron, will be improving a lot and full of confidence going into this fight.
And is this fight just a marker to say how far women's boxing has come over the past 10, 20 years? I mean, another thing that I think is very important to know at the open workout is a very different demographic of people who are there.
Yeah, I think that is partly just Katie Taylor, and that is partly women's boxing as well. When you see kids and girls that are 6 and 7 and boys that are just 9, 10, 11 and went to the Crumlin Boxing Club last night, it was unbelievable. And every kid in there is just like, Katie Taylor is, she's my idol, and they're all saying it. And like, she did that, she set the bar for women's sport and women's boxing, and she'll always be remembered for that. But that kind of doesn't matter on Saturday. Just her performance is what matters, and trying to get that revenge.
If that revenge doesn't happen, do you think there's a scenario where this is Katie Taylor's final fight?
I think we're always a bit harsh, aren't we? Like, just because you lose to arguably the pound-for-pound number one in the division above you, the undisputed champion, you should just call it a day. I think you call it a day when you start deteriorating physically, and also when you lose your love for it. At the moment, we haven't really seen that from Katie Taylor. So we'll see what happens on Saturday, but she'll still be the undisputed lightweight world champion. But how many big fights are there that she wants to be a part of? So, yeah, it's definitely the back end of her career, but in her mind, there's a long way to go.
And definitely, and I think the biggest talking sport in boxing right now is the AJ card with Deontay Wilder on that. How did that fight actually manage to come together? Because it feels like so many different promotions and so many different pieces of the puzzle, and it came together in like a week.
Yeah, we got approached from Saudi Arabia to have Joshua headline that card, and Bivol on there and Opataya on there. And it was such a massive opportunity for them that we had to move very quickly, and kind of the promotional rivalries and everything was like put to the side, and I think it just shows you it can be done when the opportunity is right for everybody. So it's a step in the right direction. It's a massive card on December 23rd, and I'm really excited for it.
And something that I remember being at that press conference, I remember when Frank Wong was giving all his thanks, he said a person he gave thanks to was Tyson Fury for being the person to get boxing into Saudi Arabia. But what I was thinking is that Anthony Joshua was actually the first big person to box in Saudi Arabia. Do you agree with that view?
Yeah, I mean, we were there many years ago. We were there 4 years ago with Ruiz and 2 years ago with Usyk. And we've had a wonderful experience in Saudi Arabia. It's a new dawn now, if you like, for boxing in Saudi Arabia with a new vision. We're pleased to be a part of that, as many of the promoters are on the card. It's very exciting for us and our fighters. And, like I said, every time we've put on shows in Saudi Arabia, we've loved it. AJ loves it there, and he's looking forward to returning.
And sticking a bit with AJ, do you think this fight is a bit of a lose-lose unless he performs like a quick knockout?
I do. I think it's a very tricky fight. Wallin's full of confidence coming off that Gassiev win in Russia. He's tricky, he's awkward, so AJ's got to be physical in the fight. It's short notice, but he's confident, and he took the fight immediately. And but like you say, probably might not get the credit through victory, but I do believe it's a tough fight.
Do you think throughout these past few years that AJ's been a bit discredited and disrespected for all the things he's done with British boxing? He's kind of been, labelled the villain as, why are you not fighting Fury? Why are you not fighting Wilder?
Yeah, I do. But, it's tall poppy syndrome, isn't it? You reach the highest heights and people want to chop you down. But I don't get it, because I think he's one of the nicest blokes you could ever meet. Like, he's got time for everyone. He'd never walk past a kid asking for a photo or a signature. He'd never be disrespectful to, I don't know, someone in a restaurant or the service. He respects everybody. And for me, I think he's a great role model. And I think he deserves a huge amount of credit for putting British boxing on the map. He's got a good heart, and he tries his best at all times. So I think we should get behind him.
I think the only person that AJ doesn't respect is Jarrell Miller, and that'd be a very interesting fight. But if it all goes well with AJ and he does get that victory, what's the game plan? Because obviously we saw for so long he used to mention undisputed, undisputed. Is that still the game plan, or is it more just big
Three-time
names?
world champion is what he wants. That's really the focus. I mean, the Wilder fight doesn't give him that, but it's a massive fight that everybody wants, and he wants the biggest fights. But he really wants the belt. That's what he wants, and certainly victory would enable him to move in that direction.
Definitely. Let's see. Hope we see that fight. Thank you very much for your time, Eddie. Really
No worries.
appreciate it.
Cheers.